Hello, welcome in. For the past 2 years, the Chicago White Sox have been a mess. Okay, not the last 2 years. More like the last 13 years. And in that span of time, they have had, count them, one, two, three, four winning seasons, including the pandemic year. The core that emerged in 2020 has since been decimated by regression and injury. The likes of Yoan Moncada, Lucas Giolito, Eloy Jimenez, and the former face of the Chicago White Sox, Tim Anderson.
They're off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
But there seems to be a shift in the wind in the Windy City. See what I did there? As longtime executives Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn have been dismissed from their roles back in August of 2023. Chris Getz assumed the role, and to quote a very famous, legendary phone call,
if Chris Getz gets promoted and we have to sit through another 15-year retool rebuild, you're just going to hear from me again in 2038.
Now, I think that Getz has done a good job, but there is one big piece they put on the market that I think they have mishandled. That big fish? Dylan Cease. Now, in my opinion, Dylan Cease is the best available starting pitcher on the market right now. On the trade market, that is. Others available include former Cy Young winner Shane Bieber and Corbin Burns, which the least expensive of this bunch is probably going to be Shane Bieber. Logan Gilbert has also been floated out there by the Mariners, but I don't think they're serious about that. Unless someone's willing to give them like a genuine all-star bat, they're not flipping Gilbert. And then you have Alek Manoah and Paul Blackburn, and I don't need to keep going down that list. During this offseason, the White Sox made it widely known that they were looking to move Dylan Cease for the right package. And I think those keywords have really spelt the offseason for them and for other teams. Once Sonny Gray and Aaron Nola signed, those were the two marquee starting pitchers available on the market. And once they were off the table, that had the Braves and the Dodgers, two of the biggest powerhouses looking for starting pitching on the market, scramble to the White Sox for Dylan Cease. Both of these organizations have good prospect depth. The Dodgers more so than the Braves, but good prospect depth nonetheless. But once the asking price got too rich, the Dodgers pivoted to Tyler Glasnow and extended him, and the Braves pivoted to Chris Sale and extended him. So they're off the market for top-of-the-line starting pitching for maybe another year or so. And now with the crosstown Cubs and the New York Yankees, who are most likely going to pivot to Marcus Stroman out of the picture, it raises the question, did the White Sox screw up? Yes. Dylan Cease is at his highest value at the moment. What with 2 years left to control and a year removed from finishing second in Cy Young voting. A Cy Young voting that he got 10 of the 30 required first place votes. In short, Dylan Cease, good pitcher. But is he good enough to get a organization's 2, 3, 4, that's a 3, 4 and 6 prospects plus more? I don't think so. We're not seeing a prime Randy Johnson or Pedro Martinez walking around on the trade market. Now, I'm not saying Dylan Cease isn't good, but what I am saying is the White Sox are treating him like a walking Hall of Famer, which he isn't. Asking for a team's top 3 prospects, let alone their 2 through 6 prospects, is absolutely absurd. Now, I'll say this is a double-edged sword because, like I said, I think Chris Getz has the right idea. He's gone out and gotten a lot of pieces this offseason for guys that you wouldn't really see, mainly Aaron Bummer. I really do think that Chris Getz has seriously overplayed his hand. Starting pitching this offseason has been really expensive, and that's without 2 of the top pitchers signing. Lucas Giolito, Frankie Montas got huge contracts along with Luis Severino, and they all had terrible or missed the 2023 season. Hey, do you remember when this video was about Dylan Cease? Now, I do think that Dylan Cease is going to be traded at the deadline, and there will be several teams vying for his services, which I honestly don't know how you turn down packages from the Yankees, Cubs, Braves, Reds, Dodgers, and probably the Orioles have checked in. And the Orioles crank out somebody who looks like they have geometry class after lunch every 5 minutes, and they always rake. But at the deadline, with Cease now being sent to a different program, the package is going to be diminished. You want your pitchers in spring training with you, so you can run them through the program, so they can work with all the catchers. You flip them at midseason, you don't know what you're going to get. See, Lucas Giolito. Now, I'm not saying all pitchers are like that, but what I am saying is that we've seen this not work out recently. And plus, if you trade them at the deadline, the package is going to be diminished because presumably you'll be trading them to a playoff contender. Now, I don't think it's going to be super diminished, But right now, a lot of teams have called your bluff, and you're left with nothing. The White Sox have a very unique opportunity to sell high on a starting pitcher in a market that is starving for top-of-the-line pitching. And I think they can still make a great trade with a great package attached to it, but the demands are going to have to pull the reins a little bit here. Because demanding that much prospect capital plus other pieces kind of defeats the purpose on trading for a starting pitcher to take into the playoffs. Basically, what I'm saying is you don't trade that much depth for one piece when you're trying to make it to the playoffs. It just doesn't make sense. October is built on depth, and if you send out all of your depth in one deal on a pitcher that may or may not be good, which Cease does have the sustainability and numbers to back up that he will be good. But like I said, you take a guy out of an environment, it's the human element of the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Chris Getz plotting a big move, or
You're just going to hear from me again in 2038.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you subscribed if you were entertained, and until next time, have a good one.